Good evening. Welcome to the Buncombe County Board of Education regular meeting for August 4, not to move the month in advance any further. At this time, will you please stand and say the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will you remain standing, please, for a moment of silence? Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda and...
Move, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. The agenda will also include an addendum to the personnel report and I believe another item on the consent agenda. I have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Dr. Baldwin?
I want to begin by congratulating the 53 Buncombe County school students who recently graduated our summer school program. Irwin High School hosted the ceremony last night, and the graduates represented all 9 of our high school programs across the district, and it was a wonderful ceremony. I think Ms. Lewis was in attendance, and we were just had a packed house. And I also want to say this. I think this is one of the largest classes that we've had come through our summer school program, and you know that's really encouraging. And I mentioned to the parents last night, I think any graduating class that comes across that stage that has experienced the challenges that have come over the year and a half of COVID, it's exceptional. And I was able to convey that hopefully to those graduates. So congratulations to them. Our HR department held a job fair earlier this week, and I'm pleased to report that I understand the number of job seekers actually doubled from the previous year. That said, we are still advertising openings in bus transportation, custodial and maintenance, child nutrition, and instructional assistance. So our application for employment can be processed through our district website under the categories. If you'll go to the category of careers and job postings. So I encourage any further job seekers out there. Buncombe County Schools is a wonderful family to join and a great, I think, a great workplace. August 16th through the 19th, our new beginning teachers and certified staff, they'll be participating in orientation programs for the upcoming 2022-23 school year. And beginning August 22nd and running through the 26th, we will be providing professional development and school-based orientation for all of our teachers and certified support. So that said, it is hard to believe, but look at your calendars, believe it or not. On Monday, August 29th, that will be the first day for students in Buncombe County as we begin this new school year. And in closing, a shout out to our technology department. We have a few of them in attendance here at our meeting. They will be hosting next Thursday the 5th annual STEAM conference, and it presents the best practices in using instructional technology in our classrooms. And the conference will, I actually took a look at the agenda late this afternoon, and they have over 50 presenters from all across the state. And they will, I think, very comprehensively, with a lot of quality, cover the scope of science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. So kudos to them. They always provide such a wonderful conference. And once again, like summer school graduation, those numbers continue each and every year to increase. So very, very proud of that effort. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Baldwin. At this time, it's time for public comment. Tim?
Chair, there are 3 public comments tonight. The first speaker is Brian McEwen. And there is a timer right here. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll give you a hand signal at 1 minute and 30 seconds.
And Madam Chair, before we begin, let me just give a brief reminder
Sorry.
of the public comment period. Speakers are called up in the order in which they signed up. All speakers will have precisely 3 minutes to speak and must adhere to guidelines set forth in Buncombe County Schools Policy 2310, Public Participation, including all reasonable rules established by the superintendent. Profane language, making threats, or revealing confidential student or staff information will not be allowed. Speakers will please address the board as a whole, and speakers will also please note that the board will not be able to respond directly to public comment.
Good evening, Dr. Baldwin, Buncombe County School Board members. My name is Brian McEwen. I am a teacher at Irwin High School. I am also the treasurer for Buncombe County Association of Educators. On behalf of the members of Buncombe County Association of Educators, I'd like to thank both Dr. Baldwin and Dr. Swanger on their leadership and stewardship of our county schools over their tenure here at Buncombe County Schools. Buncombe County Association of Educators would also like to thank them for their work with us on gaining salary increases for our classified staff this year. We would also like to thank the board for their unanimous support for the $15 mandate plus supplement for our deserving staff. Congratulations to our retirees on the board as well. Pat and Cindy McMahon, congratulations. And thank you for your commitment to our students as well. The pay increase will allow our staff to be able to enjoy living in Buncombe County, to enjoy a greater quality of life while serving our community, to perhaps not have to make difficult decisions between food or medication. While the $15 mandate is a great first step, and we do appreciate that first step, we also recognize that there is much more work to be done ahead and to create a more fair and equitable living wage for our classified staff. And also, we would like to make sure we are looking at that we are avoiding a compression of wages, as we have many experienced classified staff who, if you now have people coming in at $16.60, they are seeing their wages in comparison go down. And we'd like to make sure that we are honoring their loyal staff who have worked so hard for so many years for our students and our children at Buncombe County. In addition, Buncombe County Association of Educators also would like just to say we look forward to working with the board, together with the board, to help shape a bright future for Buncombe County students and staff, and to create the best working condition, wages, and resources to recruit and retain the best staff for our children here in Buncombe County. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The next speaker is Greg Parks.
Greg Parks, here again tonight to speak with you guys. I'm going to give you some praise as well. Pat, Cindy, glad to see you guys moving on. Definitely looking forward to getting some new, younger, current parents in the system on this board so that we can actually be felt by the decisions we make. I'm currently like the board now, where none of you but except one has children currently in the system. So your decisions doesn't really impact you and your household. One of those things that would impact someone like myself, that impacts many of the parents here in Buncombe County, is school supplies. This past weekend, I spent $400 on school supplies. Some of the supplies I completely agree with. Some of them I have questions. How can the 13th largest school district in the state of North Carolina not be able to afford copy paper for the schools? Why do I need to provide 2,000 sheets of copy paper? That baffles me. You know, such a large system. Where's our money going? Is it being spent wisely? Some would say yes, some would say no. I would say probably no. And a lot of other parents out there that's struggling to put food on their tables would say no as well. Superintendent Baldwin, my only regret with your retirement is that we didn't get to work closer together after this coming up election in November. I think we could have made some good changes together. Won't have that opportunity now, but that's okay. I hope the board hires a new superintendent, and one that is well versed in their system, not leaning too far left, too far right, someone that's center aisle, willing to work with both sides of an argument or a debate. There's a lot of things going on in our school systems, staff shortages. You mentioned you had a job fair. That's great, but it was 3 weeks before school starts. Do those folks have time to get vetted? Are you going to have time to get the drug tests, the background checks? Make sure we're not hiring more sex offenders like the current one in Buncombe County Schools. Are they going to have time to work notices at their previous employer? And then are they going to be able to be trained? Are we going to put an untrained person behind the wheel of a school bus because we want to rush and fill a seat with a warm body and not a qualified candidate? I hope not. But unfortunately, with some of the decisions I've seen, I fear that may be the case. There again, I'm glad that we're going to have some new people on this board, and they're going to be parents with kids in the schools, and their decisions will affect their household and not just everyone else out in the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Sarah Disher-Ratliff.
Good evening. Currently, there are 2 housing development projects that are being proposed within the Reynolds District that will greatly impact the elementary and middle schools within that district. After having numerous teachers and parents reach out to me, I decided to contact the County Commission to see if they would consider recommendations from the Board of Education as it pertained to the student populations at a school and new developments within their area. I was advised that they would absolutely welcome the additional input. Given the current staffing shortages and bus driver shortage, I feel it is time for the board to offer valuable insight to the commission. The board represents the entirety of the county education system and can offer demographic and other valuable statistical input regarding school performance as it relates to both population and infrastructure resources. If the commission is willing to consider information from the board, why do you not offer it? It is your job to make sure that our schools offer the best educational opportunities possible. This isn't about politics. This is about making sure you look out for everyone within your care. I would recommend that the board consider this valuable option and open up a better line of communication with your commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, that concludes public comment.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we're on the action agenda. The first item on the action agenda is North Buncombe Middle School softball field project, authorization to award the contract. I guess that's, hi, there's Mr. Fearley. I was looking for you at the door. I apologize. I would entertain a motion to, are there questions for Mr. Fearley? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to award the contract for construction of a softball field at North Buncombe Middle School to Tinoco Construction in the amount of $1,105,340, which includes the base bid and alternatives 1, 2, and 3, and authorize the execution of this contract upon the receipt of the bonds. And since North Buncombe's my district, I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second your motion, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The next item is the appointment to the School Capital Fund Commission, and this is the board attorney and members of the board. Mr. Bryant filled in for Mr. Queen in Mr. Queen's absence because of his passing. And so as I understand, it is our time to roll around on the calendar to appoint someone to represent us on the School Capital Fund Commission. Is there a motion for someone?
I would like to nominate Amanda.
Thank you. Is there a second to that nomination?
Second.
Thank you. We're getting them all over the place. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. By acclamation, that's it. Well, welcome, Amanda. We appreciate you taking the opportunity to go represent us in the School Capital Fund Commission. I'm sure, Mr. Bryant, that you and he will enjoy this work together so that he can coach you on all the intricacies of this commission. I noticed that Clark Wyatt is standing at the door with a big smile on his face because he makes presentations to that commission regularly. All right, the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. We have the minutes from June 30, a special called meeting and open session, the personnel report with the addendum, advisory council members for 22-23, Hawk Creek Elementary School request to change banking institutions, sole source procurement request, Edmond Incorporated, sole source procurement request, NWEA, sole source procurement request, Voyeur Sopris, sole source procurement request, Zoom, and sole source procurement request, Increase, Amplify Education Incorporated. Could I get a motion to approve this consent agenda?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Could I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I believe that our departments put those sole source procurement requests on there just to see if I can read them without getting tongue-tied. And not always the thing that happens. Tonight, the information agenda has several policies for first reading. That's policy 1720, 4030, 7235, Title IX, non-discrimination on basis of sex. Policy 1740, 4010, student and parent grievance procurement procedure. Policy 1742, 5060, responding to complaints. Policy 4001, equal opportunity. Policy 4240, 7310, child abuse and related threats to child safety. Policy 4400R, attendance procedures. Policy 4700, student records. Policy 5240, advertising in schools. Policy 7510, leave. Those are the items that are on the information agenda. I'd like to announce that our next meeting will be September the 1st, 2022, and we will begin the board meeting with work session and updates, and that will be in the executive conference room at 5:30. No, it's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Could I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?